My name is Gregory May. I'm the U.S. Consul General in Hong Kong and Macau.
What are the U.S.'s main interests in Hong Kong?
Right now, our main interest is the very strong people-to-people relationship we have with the people of Hong Kong. And that's why it's so disconcerting to see the rights and freedoms being so steadily taken away from them.
How would you characterize the U.S.-Hong Kong relationship now?
We now have to divide it into different segments. Mature, strong, and healthy still applies to the people-to-people relationship. Hong Kongers, by and large, are very friendly towards the United States. The area of the relationship that has suffered the most has been the political side of the relationship. The United States relationship with the Hong Kong government is strained. We don't have the same level of interaction that we used to.
11 Hong Kong officials are sanctioned by the State Department. John Lee, the chief executive, being the most prominent now, Carrie Lam, the prior chief executive as well. Do you have an opportunity to speak to John Lee?
I have not. I have not met with any of the sanctioned officials here in Hong Kong.
We're seeing suppression of memory from 2019. When I say that, I can't help but think of Tiananmen. Will the memory of Hong Kong as a freer city, do you think it'll be erased like Tiananmen 1989?
Hope not. I think Hong Kongers have good memories, and they remember what it was like in this city prior to the national security law.
If there's something to be learned about rights and freedoms here, or maybe rights and freedoms writ large, what might that be?
I think many people in Hong Kong who were here 10 years ago would never believe that the system as it existed could be changed, so dramatically and so rapidly over, I think, the objections of Hong Kongers. And so, these rights and freedoms, once lost, can be very, very difficult to get back.
Anything you want to add?
Our commitment to Hong Kong is permanent, is long-lasting. The U.S. consulate opened its doors in 1843, 1 year after Hong Kong officially became a British colony. And so, after 180 years, we celebrated our 180th anniversary last year, we're committed to being here 2 more centuries and 2 more centuries after that.
I'm Regina Yip. I'm the convener of the non-official members of the Executive Council.
It's been 5 years.
Yeah.
How has Hong Kong changed?
Order, stability, safety have returned to Hong Kong, and we are dealing with new challenges. The top concerns are weak retail sales, catering business facing tough competition from mainland cities, the weak property market, and the stock market is somewhat sluggish,
That's a fairly long list of things to work on.
Yes, definitely.
How does that make you feel being one of the leaders of Hong Kong when in the past Hong Kong has been so dynamic, vibrant?
We are in transition.
Also, 5 years ago when we met, you said the government suffered, quote, tremendous reputational damage at the time. What is the government's reputation now in the eyes of the people?
The negative reporting continues to linger in the sense that the Western media have reported widely about the impact of national security laws on rights and freedoms. In fact, rights and freedoms are not absolute. Every country has national security or public order laws.
To what degree is there press freedom still here in Hong Kong?
I think press freedom, is alive and well in Hong Kong.
Even though on the Press Freedom Index, it's fallen quite far.
I think that is really biased, because people have equated national security laws as a straitjacket on press freedom.
I believe, though, that some people are leaving here because of the fear of patriotic education. What do you say to that?
They don't need to fear, countries around the world all have some form of patriotic education. A lot of young people have grown up without a proper sense of national identity. Our government is simply trying to make up for the deficits.
My name is Po Ying Chan, Yeah, I am the chairperson of the League of Social Democrat.
Are you scared?
Sure, I'm scared. The law is so weak. There's quite a lot of so-called red line. Because maybe today what I say is okay, but tomorrow we don't know.
Would you say that most people have lost hope?
I don't want to say that. It's not lost hope. I think Hong Kong is a pragmatic way of doing things. They still keep their belief and value. But now the pragmatic position is to sit back and maybe keep lower profile.
Be water.
Yeah, be water. Yeah, good. Yeah.
I remember.
Yeah.
Your husband now sits in jail, waiting for his verdict. Do you fear that if he goes to prison, that he might not come out?
I don't want to answer this question.
Nervous to say what might happen?
I don't want to let the other side know my nervous.
My father's being persecuted because he ran a newspaper that spoke truth to power, that campaigned for democracy and criticized the government.
5 years ago, I interviewed your father at his home, at your home, in Hong Kong. At the time, he admitted that Beijing hates him. He smiled, and he said that it's a badge of honor. Do you think it's a badge of honor?
I think there is a choice that my dad made, that anybody makes at some point in their life, and it's just whether you stand up for what you believe in or you let other people dictate your life. Stay and fight for what you believe in, fight for the people that are there, fight with your journalists, and stand up in defense of your principles when someone comes and attacks them. And that's what he did.
One other thing he said in 2019 is that the protests at the time are a movement for martyrdom. Is your father now a martyr?
So I hope not, because I don't want my father to die in prison. The idea of a martyr is someone who, at least historically, someone who sacrifices their life. My dad obviously has sacrificed a great deal.
He also stands accused of collusion with foreign forces under the national security law. What do you say to that?
Is asking for democracy something that is nefarious? Is it something that we deserve? If we think that is something that we deserve, there's no collusion. My father was asking the free world, the US, but also other countries, to put pressure on Hong Kong so that we would one day have democracy in Hong Kong.
When was the last time you saw your dad, and what was the last thing that he said to you?
I think I was just on my way to the airport. I still remember, actually, I had packed a week's worth of clothing and, just sort of kissed him goodbye and said I loved him. He was arrested a few days after. I hope he knows that I'll keep fighting for it. Hong Kong is no longer this free city. It's now essentially a police state.
My name is Nathan Law. I'm a democratic activist from Hong Kong, now exiled in London.
What is your mission today?
My mission today is continue to voice for Hong Kong, speak up for Hong Kong, and also continue the flame of the democratic movement in terms of shaping China policy and the China discussion in the UK or around the world.
When I was there, I expected more people to care more about the political situation. What I found is that people are now more concerned about economics, their own finances, saving money.
First of all, I think the economy is doing really bad in Hong Kong, as we all have experienced, no matter it's firsthand or people telling the stories. Second of all, I think even if people, they do care about politics, sometimes they cannot speak it out loud. They also have to at least pretend that they don't care about politics when it comes to speaking anything public.
is the Hong Kong that you knew, that the world knew prior to 2019, dead?
It has evolved into a new norm. One country, two system is dead. Freedoms in the city is dead. And a very Beijing-favored Hong Kong has come in.
Where's your home? Where's your heart? Is your home still in Hong Kong in your head, or is it now London?
Well, that is a really good question. My home is in an imaginary land of Hong Kong.
What is the lesson that you have learned about change, democracy, rights, freedoms?
Even in democracies, there are people and organizations that are using undemocratic agenda, trying to topple some of the results that we have built for decades and years. And if we're not vigilant towards that, the civil society that we used to know can collapse in just a matter of months. Just please don't take freedom and democracy for granted.